you don't have to compromise just because you don't want foundation. Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, if you are a girl who wants to look cute this summer without foundation, keep watching. Firstly, my hair, you know what, it's not even clipped, it's not pinned in place, guys. I just placed hair on top of my head. If I twist my head, this thing might fall. But let's just get into the video. All the products that I use will be in the description box down below, so check that out, girl. I'm going to be using this Nivea sunscreen, and I'm just going to dab a little bit on my face. I've moisturized my face already, but I didn't apply any sunscreen, I didn't apply any primer. Well, one of the many things I love about sunscreen, besides the fact that it protects us from harsh UV rays, is that I just love the glow it gives me. Because at school we're not allowed to wear makeup, so my sunscreen is my little highlighter, little glowy trick. But I feel like, especially if you're not wearing foundation, you do need a good base. Just because you're not wearing foundation, sis, doesn't mean you should slack, okay? I'm not coming for anybody, I'm just saying, you know. So after applying sunscreen, I go in with a primer. This is the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. I apply a little bit where I feel like my pores are screaming for help. Like my nose, my forehead, and here by my cheeks, I do have a lot of open pores, and my chin. I think it's very important to get a primer that is very good at minimizing the appearance of pores, because we still want to slay, you know. You don't have to compromise just because you don't want foundation. I'm just gonna blend out this primer with my hands. You can use a sponge, I just like to get into the skin really, and my hands are clean, so it's cool. And I'm just gonna press that into the skin. So that is it for primer. Please bear with me, the base is gonna be very long because it is very important, if you're not applying foundation, to take care of the skin first, especially if you're like me and you do not have clear perfect skin. We do have some pimples, we do have some large pores, and we do have some scars. This is an eyeshadow primer. Of course it's for eyeshadow, but I use it for my concealer just to make sure that the product sticks to my face. If you're like me, my nose tends to flake and crack and it becomes so dry and product just moves away from it. It's not cute, girl. So I go in with an eyeshadow primer. This is how it looks. So I'm going to apply a little bit to my nose, and it's important to blend it out immediately because it can dry very quickly and it becomes very tacky. So you just need to make sure that you've blended it into your nose, and anywhere actually where you feel like product tends to move a lot, you can apply this primer. For example, I'm going to go underneath my eyes. The last step of our base is to apply some setting spray. I love applying setting spray because it just prepares the skin for the product. So as you can see, we are dripping and we are ready for product. I'm going to be using this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. It is a buildable coverage. I'd say it's a medium to full coverage personally, but I love this concealer, and it is in the shade Caramel. Yeah, it's in the shade Caramel, which is close to my skin tone. So I would suggest that you get a concealer that is close to your skin tone. If it is lighter, it's not a big problem because we are going to contour and bronze, but I would say more or less get it close to your skin tone. So I'm just gonna open it now. You twist it. I mean, it's almost finished. Oh my gosh, it is so small. That's the one thing I hate about it. It is so small. You're gonna have to buy a lot. I mean, it's an amazing product, so it's worth it. And I'd like to start by just patching all those spots that I feel are kind of exposed, such as my pimples or my dark marks. So I'm going to go over them like this, like a corrector almost. Yeah, it's almost like we're correcting. And I'm just gonna dab. I feel like I have to apply it all over my chin, but it's fine, I won't. Dab, 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 dab. And of course, if your acne is a little bit more than mine, feel free to go ham with this concealer. It's okay. You don't need to put a little bit of product if it doesn't make you feel comfortable. smaller marks, I won't really dab this over because we're going to share the product and evenly distribute it all over the face. Okay, this side is looking better. Do y'all? I like going crazy over my mustache area simply because it's kind of green, kind of red. I don't really understand what's happening. Plus there's hair, so I don't mind going crazy with product over my mustache, but that's just me. Then by my nose, I'm going to apply just a few dots randomly. I'm going to use the back side to blend out this concealer. This is a damp beauty sponge, which I suggest you use a damp one instead of using a dry one because your makeup just won't blend as smooth. And I'm just gonna go lightly. And you want to tilt your nose, make sure you get each and every corner. So we're not done with the face entirely, but for now I'm going to go in with this LA Girl Pro Concealer and use it underneath my eyes. I like to apply some on my forehead. I'm just gonna go with a little bit, do some nose contouring. Girl, that is kind of skew. But I'm gonna apply a little bit on my chin and some by the mouth area just to lighten up those areas. So for contouring, I'm going to use a mousse instead of a concealer. I just prefer a mousse. It's easier to blend, it's nice, soft and creamy. And this one is from Essence in the shade Matte Hazelnut. It's in the shade Matte Hazelnut. I'm just gonna pat it on lightly. I'm not blending it out, I'm just simply applying the product like that. Before I blend anything out, I'm gonna go back in with this concealer and dab over the spots that didn't really get coverage, like here. And now we're going to blend everything out. I'm going to start out by blending the contour first. I don't know which brush I'm gonna use. Like, why didn't I wash my brushes? Like, Anyway, I'm going to use the butt of my beauty blender to blend out the contour first. I just want this concealer to stay on so that it can be pigmented before we blend it out immediately, because if you blend out your concealer immediately, it won't be as pigmented. So I'm going to start with contour. And I'm just going to blend that. I like to blend my contour upwards. I'm going to use this side to blend out that concealer part, and you want to look upwards when you blend out your concealer, but I also want to have some setting powder ready. And the setting powder that I'm going to use today, oh girl, need to wipe you. So the setting powder I'm going to be using today is this pressed compact powder from Essence. It is the mattifying compact powder. It's in the shade Soft Beige 02, and I prefer using a pressed powder than a loose powder because loose powders tend to look more pigmented and more heavy. A pressed powder, I prefer it for a more natural look. Blend that out. And now I'm going to go into the pressed powder using my damp beauty sponge. I know some people prefer to use a dry beauty sponge. It's honestly based on preference. For me, this works just as well. So basically, I'm just rolling it like that and setting that concealer. So now I'm going to go in and blend out that concealer that has been staying there over those dark spots. Just dab it also. So I'm just going to apply a little bit, and I mean a small amount of the powder onto these spots just to make sure that the product doesn't wipe away throughout the day. So I'm just going to go with a little bit. Now at this point, you just want to make sure that the whole face is blended. Of course, this look is not full coverage. That is the purpose, not to apply too much product. but we still need to make sure that all the colors are blending and marrying into each other perfectly. Ooh, we're looking kind of cute. We're looking kind of cute. I don't usually do no foundation routines, simply because I either have a full face of makeup or none at all. That's just me personally, but of course everybody's different, and I just want to make this video to help somebody out. But anyway, I'm gonna use this thick brush to wipe away any excess setting powder. Already we shouldn't have any, but in case there is something left, we just want to wipe it away. Now I'm just going to contour my nose. So this is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions palette. I just want to use this shade, just dab 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 and tap on the back of my hand, just to make sure that there are no harsh lines on our faces. I'm gonna start up top, blend it down. I love this kind of look for summer, especially if you're a person who sweats a lot and you're not really into a full face of makeup. Just do this light beat. It's gonna go back. Oh my gosh, I have a pimple by my chin because yesterday I don't know what I kept thinking about, and I kept just like putting my hand like this. Yo, no. And what I love about this eyeshadow color, it's almost like a blush and a bronzer at the same time, so you don't need to go in with a blush if you don't want to. But because I'm extra and I like looking like I'm blushing, I'm going to apply a blush. And this is also from an eyeshadow palette, so I'm going to be using this Beauty Treats eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to use these two shades. So for the highlights, I'm going to go back in with this Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. Oh girl, this is so cute. And then I'm gonna go in with some setting spray just to set everything in place. I think it's best to get a matte finish spray, not a dewy one, but it depends on your preference. But I feel because you didn't apply a lot of product, just to make sure that everything stays on the face, just put some matte spray. Now me personally, I don't put highlighter on my cheeks because that is where I do get acne, so I'm not trying to highlight my acne spots, so that is just for me. But now I'm going to apply some lip stuff and I'll be back. Hey beauties, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching it. I love you so much and I truly appreciate you watching this video. I hope it helped. This is the final look. It is not full coverage at all, but I mean, it is a no foundation routine and it will get you through the day. So if that is what you were looking for, I hope you found some amazing tips and tricks. But don't forget to subscribe down below and give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. But without further ado, I love you. God loves you more. Stay beautiful, okay? Stay blessed, and you know, stay slaying the gram, even if it means you're a catfish like me. So from me and my dry lips, until next time.